Hello, fellow YouTube friends. My name is Vigo. I lived 7 months in Japan, traveled through different cities in Japan, did vacation, went to Japanese language school, made friends, Japanese as well as foreign people along the way, and just had a fun blast time living in Japan. Now I'm back in Germany, and in total it was the best experience I've ever had. And before I went to Japan, of course, a lot of problems did come my way. How to apply for the working holiday visa, which visa is the right thing to you, which city should you go to, what should you do while being on the working holiday visa while you be in Japan, and all these different stuff. How can you make some friends, and whatever there is, should you take a job? And I'm the kind of person who likes to really focus on the preparation, and I'm really doing my best to get the best outcome possible. And now that I'm back in Germany, all the experiences and I overcome all those problems, right? So I want to help you guys all out. In my life, I'm watching so much YouTube. Isn't it for the topic of my own education or just like pleasure? So and I think a lot of people out there have a pretty big connection to YouTube because we're all watching YouTube videos every day. Is it for video games, just like educational stuff, your hobbies, whatever it is, we're all really down into YouTube. I kind of got the feeling that now that I'm back here, I want to give something back to the community. I've never had made a YouTube video before, so please go easy on me if anything is not perfect with the lighting or the sound or whatever it is. It's my first YouTube video ever, and I'm actually just doing it because I want to give something back to you. I was searching through YouTube to get the last bit of information out of it that I could to improve my planning and all my preparations. But sadly, on a lot of topics, I found a lot of information, but not usually the stuff that I really wanted to hear. For example, today we're going to focus about the working holiday visa and the applying process. I myself had a big kind of like writing barrier at the time of writing my motivational speech. And I was searching on YouTube for people who did already and passed their working holiday visa and just wanted to get some kind of view how they did it, but they were just talking about what it is and so on, not really giving me some kind of insights in the process. And that is why I'm here, because I'm gonna give you all the details that I wished someone else did. So I will do them for you and hopefully it will help you out. Nice. Okay, before we'll start with anything, the main topic that you should get out of this video is please, please, please pursue your dreams. You're now in the best time of your life. You're probably around the same age as I am. I'm currently in my mid-20s. And of course, the working holiday visa and my whole time in Japan ate a huge hole in my bank account. But would I do it again? 11 out of 10 times, hell yeah. It was the best experience I've ever had. And if someone else will tell me you can have the same experience again, but you need to pay double the amount of money, I would happily do it. And please, 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 I know it can be like troublesome and you're kind of worrying about all the different topics and will you be alright being in Japan? Is it really worth your money, your time that you're spending and investing in? And I am 100% certain it is. Do it! Just do it! A small disclaimer, I myself living in Germany and the working holiday visa is almost the same in every European country. So if you're whether from Germany, from Sweden, from Austria, from Greek, wherever you're from, this video will help you out because the requirements and the documents that you need to fill out are mostly the same. If you are from America or somewhere around the globe, please DYOR, do your own research. I cannot guarantee for anything in this video for you, but maybe it's even interesting for you. But I will continue my playlist with other videos later coming up. For example, after you got the working holiday visa, how to make your preparations. Which city should you choose? If you want to go to Japanese language schools, what are good schools? What should you check and what should you look out for? I'm going to cover all these topics, so maybe the upcoming videos are way more suited to you.
Hey, that's pretty good.
So now that we got the basic stuff out of the way, let's just start right away. The first thing we're going to check is your age, because you need to be between 18 and 31. 30 at the time of applying. That is pretty important. You need to be before 31, before the age of 31 in the applying process. If you're turning 31 After you receive the working holiday visa, no worries, but while in the applying process, you need to be below 31 years old. This is probably the most easiest part. Just get your passport out, look at it, and you will probably find out that you're still young as fuck. Nothing is stopping you. After you've checked your age, we need to check your passport because you need a viable passport, pretty obviously, but this can take up quite some time. For me, example, it took me around 3 to 5 weeks to get a new one. You need to make an appointment at your local government, bring all the required documents and like a new picture for it. And after you did all of this, you need to wait like 3 weeks to pick up the new one. And you will need the new ID number that is imprinted on the passport for all the upcoming documents. So I would really recommend you to do this as soon as possible because then it is ready for all the upcoming process that you're gonna do. Okay, the next one, we need a CV, some kind of life diary, I would call it. Don't know what the proper word in English is. But you're probably around the same age as I am, around mid-20s. So you maybe finished school, finished university, are currently studying, or even already started a new job. Whatever situation you're in, you will have a CV ready, I guess. And if there's some information missing, maybe about the 2 last years, just fill them out and you're ready to go, right? The basic stuff, where you went to school, like when did you graduate and all these basic stuff. You will probably have one laying around, pretty sure about it. So now comes the main application document. This is probably the point where the first kind of and how do I do that questions come up. So we're gonna do this all together. But in general, it's super simple. It's just the basic stuff. What is your name, the passport number of your new passport, where have you born, your current address, what you want to do in Japan, your occupation. But there are some tricky questions in it. But as I said, I want to help you guys out as much as I can. So we're going to go through it all together on my PC. I'm going to do it in a separate video. So we'll probably make a small cut here. Okay, hello guys. Greetings from my PC. Now we're here on the page. And here is everything you need to know. Also a small disclaimer before we start with anything. Of course, this is the official page of Germany.
Dieses Video ist nun Eigentum der BRD.
Verpiss dich, du Hurensohn!
Please check your own websites, whether you are from somewhere from whichever country in Europe. Just please do your own research, but most of them should be the same. Okay, this out of the way, we are gonna start with everything we got here. For now, we just gonna go with our application form. All the rest and what to do and what to watch out for, I'm gonna give you a small summary at the end of the video. Okay guys, now we're here and we go for the application form. If you open it like this, you get the blank version, but to spare some time, I already prepared one. We're just gonna go through it all together. And for entertainment purposes, we went with Captain Kobe from One Piece. So you will insert your own picture right here. And this one needs to stay blank for the embassy. I don't know Captain Kobe's family name, so we just went with Kobe's family name. His first name is Kobe, and he doesn't have any other names that he's known by. If you have married, you probably should put in the first family name you had before going into the marriage. Then you put in your basic information like your date of birth, your place of birth, which gender you are, and also in which kind of situationship you're in. Please choose your nationality and other nationalities if you have them. ID number issued to you by your government, this is not available. I just checked my own documents and I stated NA in it, so please don't ask me why, it is just as it is. Passport type, I kind of thought at the beginning that this should be official because it's an official document, but we're not some kind of special people. We're just ordinary, boring ass people. But check your new passport and put the passport number in it, the place of issue, the date of issue, like when you got it, the city which kind of like made it for you and where you're probably living, and when it's gonna expire. All these information you will find on the back side of the passport. Certificate of eligibility, not available. The same, I don't have a clue what it even is.
Hey yo, what the fuck?
But I guess we don't all need it. Purpose of visit to Japan and status of residence. It is nah, just kidding. So we're probably being boring and we're want to learn Japanese, getting into the culture and vacation. Keep it simple. Then next we got the intended length of stay. This is super important because the intended length of stay needs to match now, whatever you're putting in here needs to match with what you're putting in your itinerary, as well as the how long your private health insurance is gonna last if you will buy a private health insurance. We will cover this later on, but just note now that this is still an intended length of stay. If you were gonna stay longer at the end or gonna go home more early, no problem as well. Date of arrival in Japan. If you already bought a flying ticket, you will probably have a date. If not, leave it blank. But think about it, if you don't have a flight ticket yet, you need to have 3,000 euro in your bank account. If you already got this one, you only need 2,000. The port of entry in Japan, for us it's not available, but probably most of us will gonna fly and then it will be something like this or this, Haneda or Narita, because these are the most used airports that you got in Japan. Name of ship or airline, also then probably if you got something, you will probably go with whatever airline. I don't know, we're German, so we're gonna go with the Lufthansa. Name and addresses of hotels or persons with whom applicant intends to stay. We don't have anyone, no one wants to hang out with us, so we can just put an A in all of these boxes. And I at least never went to Japan before, not even for vacation, so I stayed at none. Your current residential address, just put in where you're gonna live, the basic stuff. Telephone number also not available, we're no boomers, so we just have a smartphone number. Put in your email and your current job, what you're doing. Also then your employer, and also like keep it, don't worry, they never actually called my employer and were kind of like asking for some reference or some resume about how I'm doing. So I don't know, it's just for them to have some kind of contact, I guess. Partner's profession, still think, right, only important if you're a minor. A guarantee, the same. I was kind of thinking, oh my god, I need someone kind of like pledging for me that I'm a nice guy, but nope, you don't need one actually. If you don't have one, no problem. Skip, 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 skip. Inviter in Japan, the same. Don't have someone waiting for us. Skip, 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 skip. I mean, probably if you have friends, you can put them in there, I guess, but most of us probably don't. Then we got the are you a nice guy questions. Please read through them carefully. You are obviously 100% kind of forced to answer this truthfully, so please read it, but it's the I would kind of say the basic stuff. We're hopefully all nice guys and haven't gotten into too much big trouble in our life, so please go with no on everything in here if it's stating the truth, obvious of course, and if something of this here is right for you, please click yes, and if you did so, then you need to write here why.
Why?
Why? And at the end, you will just put in the current date and print it out and sign it manually. Please don't just write in something here. It's also not a box. You can't put it in there. Just need to print it out. And then we are done with this document. The next thing we're gonna need is a health insurance. We did the main document together, and there we needed to make a small tick in one of these boxes to say that we're willingly enter the Japanese healthcare system, even if you got a private one. You can get a private one beforehand and have it, but they will force you kinda to enter the Japanese healthcare system in your time in Japan. You will need to make this box, otherwise your applying process will get denied immediately. So if you will get a private one or not is completely up to you. I actually did it just to be really on the safe side. If there is any kind of medical emergency. I just wanted to be sure to get the right treatment that I actually wanted. So I searched out some private health insurance before I went to Japan. And one super important thing is, if you do a private health insurance before you go to Japan, the health insurance needs to be the same length as your intended stay in the travel journey, in your like planning what you're gonna do in Japan. This is super important. This time needs to match 100%. So for now, kind of like we just make the tick at the box, right? And everything is good to go. But maybe you're still thinking about it. This is, I don't know. I don't know how it will work out. Is it difficult to be in Japan? Maybe I should get a private one just to be sure. But take it easy. It's super easy. I'll just make a small description of it. You will go to the local government in Japan, whichever city you went to then for the first period of time. You will need to say, hello, from here on for the next 3 months or whatever, I'm gonna live here. And they're gonna imprint the address, your current address in Japan, on the backside of your working holiday visa, which just looks like a basic ID card. And they will give you an envelope. In the envelope are the health insurance checks, kind of, and you just need to bring them month by month, or you can even pay them all at once at the kombini. In the kombini, you just need to hand them over to the staff and they will scan it and will tell you how much you need to pay. It's of course also written on the document, and it should be in the range of 800 to 4,000 yen per month. How they're calculating the amount of money, I don't have a clue. Like, I had some friends who paid like 3,000 yen, and I had some other people who told me they paid like 1,000. So whatever it is, just go with the flow, just find out. No big deal, I would say. Okay, the next one, we have your flight ticket and the amount of money that you'll actually need. I'll put them together because they're kind of correlated to each other. Because if you got a flight ticket only one way to Japan, you need 3,000 euro in your bank account at the time of recording. If you got the ticket to Japan and back, you only need 2,000 euro in your bank account. With this rule, they just want to make sure that you don't end up homeless in Japan, and whatever comes across your way, whatever problem comes across your way, you will be able to have a flight back to your own country. Also, if you're interested, I did the round-way ticket because I want to be as prepared as I can. So I bought the ticket to Japan, and the back flight, I bought it as a flex ticket. So I could rearrange the date, the back flight date, as much as I want for free. So at the time of buying the ticket, I just chose the most far away date that I could. In 1 month in advance, my flight ticket would be valid, you know, the back flight ticket. I would just log in online and rearrange the date. Completely for free, just press on save and it's completely done so. I did this procedure, I think like 2 or 3 times even, and don't had any problems with it. And yeah, I was feeling on the safer side because I had a already paid flying back ticket. With the money on your bank account, super important thing is the document that you need to hand in is only allowed to be one page, one PDF file page, and it need to state your name and the amount of money on the bank account. It is not allowed that you have like 2 different PDF files and kind of like combine them together. It really needs to be one page. Maybe you will need to check your online banking for some kind of summary where you can find this. Now we will actually come to the bit more difficult part, at least for me. This is the most part which requires writing. It is the motivational speech as well as your plan, your schedule in Japan. We're going to start out with your motivation speech. I think for all of us, this should be pretty easy because if you want to take the working holiday visa, you're willingly spending 1 whole year maybe in Japan and just really want to get into the Japanese culture. So you have a lot of energy and motivation going forward. So whatever your reason, whatever your motivation is, maybe it's Japanese, maybe it's like the language, maybe it's the language, the food, anime, tea culture, kimono, whatever it is your own motivation. Super easy, don't feel shy about it. It is your own energy. So please feel free and write about it. But I myself had a huge problem with it. I of course also like anime, but I thought to myself that probably most people will write about anime, and I kind of thought that this is cringe.
A few moments later. Did he just call my favorite anime? I got reincarnated in the demon world and fell in love with the 3,000-year-old demon king who looks like a 11-year-old human girl. Cringe. I think we need to take him out. Yeah, I guess you're right.
So I decided that I don't want to write about anime and focus on the part of food. So I was just writing some random stuff like, yeah, the first time here in Germany I ate ramen at a restaurant. It was such an incredibly experience that I fall in love with the Japanese food, and I tried to make ramen at home on my own, and afterwards even started with gyudon and etc, etc, etc. It was something like this, right? And yeah, I wrote it down, maybe 12 sentences or whatever, and then I was just looking down on it and felt completely unhappy with it. I really looked at it and was like, it was awfully cringe. Yeah, I really had the feeling I couldn't hand this in. It was so terrible for me. Yeah, I tried to rewrite it maybe 5 times, and it really felt like I had a writing barrier in my hand. Everything felt so awful, everything felt so cringe, that I actually ended up calling my local Japanese embassy here in Hamburg and asked them for some kind of guidance and some tips and tricks. You can probably imagine the phone call like this. Hello, I love the Japanese culture so much that I want to go to Japan and live there for 1 whole year. And now they ask me why I like Japan. There are so many reasons, and I even learned Japanese, but I'm too brain rotten to write anything out which sounds a bit interesting and cool. So can you please help me out?
No, 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 no.
I kind of had the feeling she was a little bit laughing about my inquiry, about my question, but a wonderful woman working there, she asked me if I got time, and I was like, yeah, of course, I just called you to get some help, right? And she was kind of like, listen up, boy, take yourself a seat and I will guide you through it. And we actually called for over an hour, and she gave me really like a briefing on how to applying for the working holiday visa. I actually from her received the feeling that they want to support me, that they want to help me get the working holiday visa, and this also gave me some kind of motivation boost going forward. So the story that I want to tell you is there was a guy who loved building Gundam. From his childhood onwards he was building Gundam, had a huge Gundam collector. You know, the Gundams. Like this one, this cute boy. Damn, he just loses all his wings. No! What the hell? No! Oh my god, Yamete. Oh my god, this is terrible. Yeah, and of course, in Japan, the Gundam culture is way bigger. There are way more bigger shops. They have like Gundam workshops where you can build the figures with other people together. Huge life-size Gundam statues like this one here in Odaiba, where I went to. Incredible, super cool stuff. And he was actually just writing about this hobby and even put a picture of his own collection inside of his application. And of course, it got approved. Because why not? It is your own motivation, right? And as she told me the story, I was kind of getting a little bit relaxed because I really got the feeling, okay, even the cringe stuff or whatever I would consider it is no big deal. So what you should take out of it is please go whatever your hobby, whatever your motivation is. Your motivation is 100% key and no one else can say it's wrong or it's bad. So be easy and really take the thing that you like the most, however cringy it can be for other people. Just please go for it and take it easy. Because I wanted to help you out as much as I can, I'm gonna actually show you the motivation speech that I handed in. As I said before, I'm still super unhappy with the outcome, but I got the stamp of approval for it and got my working holiday visa with it. And yeah, back then I really was searching through all of YouTube to just get some kind of reference to have the feeling how some other people did it. And yeah, you will actually see it here. Please, please, please don't quote me on it. It's super awful. It's super cringe for me. I really don't want to show it to you guys. but I want to help you out. The last thing we have is your schedule in Japan. And this is, she told me, the thing where most of the people struggle, because a lot of people just tend to put way too less information in it and kind of write just some stuff like this. January, going to school. February, going to school. March, going to school. April, searching for a job. May, working. June, going home. If you will hand in something like this, the chance of that it will get denied is really high, she told me. So please don't make this mistake and put in as information as you can. You can take the working holiday only once in your life, right? And you will spend there maybe like a half year, a whole year, whatever it is. You probably have super many ideas or fun things that you want to do while being in Japan, right? You have all those ideas. Write them on that paper. Whatever it is, just put it in some kind of chronological order and have some idea. Also, as we did before, I will show you mine. She told me mine was way overboard, but they were happy to just see someone really having a plan and a schedule that he wants to follow. Some small extra information that you need to be careful about in your scheduling is, first of all, the time that you're allowed to go to school. The working holiday visa implies working and holiday, not going to school and learning Japanese.
One, two, three, 25.
The working holiday visa implies working and holiday, not going to school and learning Japanese. So you're only allowed to go to a Japanese language school for half of the time that you're in Japan in total. So for example, you're staying the whole 1 year in Japan with the working holiday visa, then your allowed time going to school is only below 6 months. If you're at straight 6 months or succeeding these 6 months, you will immediately get your working holiday visa denied, and they will tell you that you should get a student visa. The requirements for the student visas are way harder. They're way stricter with all the regulations and stuff. And I think you should, at the beginning, just go with the working holiday visa, tip your toes in the water and find out if it's a good thing to you. Maybe you just go 3 months into Japanese language school and say it is a wonderful thing, it is super cool. Then you can go back to your country after the year is over and apply for a student visa and come back and completely dig down on the language part. It's a nice chance for you to check it out, but you need to be careful that your time in school is less than half of the time that you're in Japan in total. And also the same thing for your health insurance. If you bought a private one beforehand, it needs to cover the same amount of time as your schedule in Japan. So your schedule is going from the 1st of January until the end of June, for example. Then your health insurance, also the private one that you bought beforehand, needs to cover the time from January until the end of June. If they're not matching, maybe your private health insurance only goes to mid of March because you said, oh, I need to enter the Japanese local healthcare system anyway. This does not matter. If you will hand in some private healthcare documents, they need to 100% have the same amount of time as your scheduling. But hey guys, this is the future version of me. Now we're kind of 2 months in advance. I kind of learned a little bit how to edit the videos.
Me,
quite unsatisfied with one of the last parts where I gave you some kind of tips, so I just want to do them again. In Germany now it has gotten so cold, it's already like -1 degrees. It's terrible, so I hope you're doing better wherever you are. So let's get started. And what I wanted to say about, we talked so much now about your itinerary, your intended length of stay in the itinerary, and the time that you're allowed to go to school, and your private health insurance.
1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. I love counting whatever the amount.
These needs to match, right? We said it so often now, but it is not set in stone. As it is stated in your itinerary, it is your intended length of stay. If you want to stay longer because you love Japan so much and you said, oh my God, I found a good, like a side job or a mini job, and you can get some money and you can stay longer, you can do that without any problems. If you want to go home earlier, no problem as well, right? It is just your intended length of stay. No one will coming for you and just be like, you wrote down here that you're gonna go home by June. And no one is gonna come to you and say, you wrote down here that you're gonna move to Hiroshima by June. If you are still in Tokyo, no problem. You liked it, you found some friends, you maybe even got a partner like a girlfriend or your new boyfriend. Whatever it is, you got your reason, your motivations to stick into a specific point. It is just an itinerary. It is just some kind of stuff that you plan, that you want to write down for the documents, but no one is checking on it. No one is coming and kind of like ringing at your doorbell and be like, yo, why the hell are you still here? It's not happening. You only need to consider all the stuff that we talked about now for the applying process. If you receive the working holiday visa, it is valid for up to 1 whole year at the time of yourself entering Japan. So you're just moving there, going in there, and then you give them your working holiday visa, you get it back, and from then on it's valid for up to 1 whole year. From there on, what you're gonna do with your time in Japan, it really doesn't matter. If it is like sticking 0% to your itinerary, who's gonna stop you, right? No one is, because it is your life. Of course you need to stick by the normal societal rules, governmental rules, but if you wanna, then you said you wanna move to Fukuoka and Hiroshima and Kobe, and you don't do it, and you stay like the 1 whole year in Tokyo, it is no big problem. It is no problem. No one is coming for you and complaining. So just focus on everything we said for the applying process. Also, you stay longer in Japan, of course you can go to school one more time. No problem, right? Just now for the inquiry, for your planning, for your working holiday visa applying documentation, stick to the rules and do it like this. Okay guys, this is it for today. I think like together we did now everything that you need to do. So I guided you through it. But if you got some other questions, some topics that I should talk about, please let me know down in the comments below. I'll do my very best to answer them all carefully. And yeah, if you got some ideas for new videos or requests, please let me know. I'll do my very best to cover them. But this is my first YouTube video I've ever did. And now comes probably the even more difficult part for me, because I need to cut a video. I have zero clue how to do it, and I will just find it out along the way. Today it is like the 25th of September, so I have no clue when this video will come online, but I'll do my very best, and yeah, then I will see you in the next video. Bye bye. By the way, I know that the plate for the consent isn't there. I know this. Please don't let me know in the comments below. I know that it's not finished yet. I'm still renovating. Thank you very much.